G'day guys, my name is Wildcard and welcome back to my channel. If you can read my face, you probably realize I am not happy. Wallabies versus Scotland 2021 Autumn Internationals team has just been announced and I am a little bit upset. Yeah, so the Wallabies just been handing out caps to some of these returning veterans, seemingly just out of no actual credit, like no merit to these guys. Just been handing out Wallaby jerseys to a lot of these return players for really undeservingly to giving out to them. I am really upset. Rory Arnold, as you can see here, at number 4 position. He is selected in the starting number 4 position ahead of Matt Phillip and Lockie Swain. I honestly don't know why does this guy get a chance over Matt Phillip, who's been doing so well and improved so much in recent times. This guy just gets to come in and take his spot. By the way, I do remember this guy from losing to Argentina, a bunch of absolute losers. He doesn't really have the greatest record playing for the Wallabies. I don't know why he gets the start, just handed a start. He literally joined the Wallabies camp like a week ago. He gets handed the starting jersey. Are you kidding me? Like, what's going on here? What the heck is happening here? I don't get it. Is this part of the deal that they get to play for the Wallabies? You hand them a jersey, guaranteed, otherwise they're not going to join the squad? Absolutely, unbelievable. This is just, baffling. He gets a spot. And then also, Will Skelton, he hasn't played for the Wallabies since 2016. Again, just gets handed a spot. I mean, provided that he's playing sub, it's not as bad. Being on the substitution, sure, okay, I'm not too upset. Still, why does he just get handed a spot? I know these players get paid based on appearances. So, they get extra money for being, running onto the field. Is this why they get selected? Is this part of the deal of them being selected? They get to run on and get the handout, get the bonus handout for running onto the field? This is appalling. What did this guy do to deserve a position in the Wallabies? I mean, Curly Bill, sure. We have injury issues. I can understand we needed a fullback. I can understand him being here. And also, Curly Bill has much better records than Will Skelton and Rory Arnold. Curly Bill, one of the best of all time for the Wallabies. I can understand why he gets a bench spot. But Jesus Christ, why did this guy get a start? My God, this is just, I saw this, I was baffled. And guess what? I think Scotland's gonna beat us. The Scottish team is freaking, awesome. Maybe not on the bench, but the starting team is pretty damn good. So, anyway, before I blew a vein out of my forehead, let's have a look at some of the results from Scotland. So Scotland has been playing much better than they did in the Rugby World Cup in recent times. And they, in the Six Nations year, they put out a couple of really, really big upsets. In fact, they were really close to winning Six Nations. Just a little bit of game management issues towards the end. Lost a couple of really close ones. So first big one, they beat England away in Twickenham, provided there was no crowd. I think this was 36 or 38 years. The last time they beat England in Twickenham. So massive results. And this game, they beat England with superior kicking game. So really, really impressive. Completely outplay England to win this one. They lost to Wales by 1 point. A little bit of game management issues towards the end of the match. They could probably manage a little bit better. Bit of a stupid kicking towards the end. Cost them an opportunity to potentially get that drop goal or a penalty. And also Scotland had a red card. Was it a red card? Yeah, it was a red card against Wales. So they had to play with 14 players for the remainder of the game. So that's also, I think. So they only lost to Wales, who won the Six Nations by 1 point, playing with only 14 players. So they should have won this one. Just a little bit of management issues. Wales, again, lost to Ireland. Just not able to close out the game in the final few minutes. Johnny Sexton really showed the difference. managed to get him quite well, closed out the game. And Scotland just a little bit short. Really probably could have won this one as well if they just had managed it a little bit better. And finally, they did pull out a massive upset against France to basically shut out France's any chance of winning Six Nations, and basically helping Wales finish Six Nations champions. And this one they did manage to, unlike the previous games, they did manage to close out the game quite well. They literally scored a try in in overtime, like 2 minutes or 3 minutes overtime to beat France. Really managed that much better than they did against Ireland and Wales. So massive improvements across the board for Scotland. Wallabies, however, had a massive low starting of this year. Let's go starting rugby championship. Yeah, let's not talk about the French series. Starting championship, got absolutely dominated by the All Blacks. Had a few players coming back from overseas. Quade Cooper, Samuel Karevi came back and really just turned the team around. Wallabies got back onto a massive roll, beating South Africa twice in a row. So the world champions went down twice in a row and quite comfortably in the second game as well. And then beating Argentinians. Started looking a bit shaky coming into the last couple games. Argentina did have a massive comeback in the second half against Australia. And Japan, 2 weeks ago, was really closely in touch with Australia. And especially in the second half where Wallabies kind of struggled a little bit. Only able to close out the game in the last 2 or 3 minutes left in the clock. Finally closed out the game with the try. Put Japan out of reach. But Japan was right in it with 4 points behind all the way till 75th minute, essentially. Whether it's going to be nice and okay, could be cool, 10 p.m. This is going to be like Monday morning, 1 a.m. for me, but it's Sunday game. So it's going to be a bit humid, but it's not going to be raining, looks like. Maybe a bit wet, but it's going to be okay. So let's have a look at the lineup, right? Like I mentioned, I'm baffled by the selections. I don't know why this idiot gets a start. I do remember him losing to Argentina, in just and losing the Rugby World Cup, and that apparently is enough to deserve them a guaranteed spot in the Wallabies starting team, I guess. So yeah, I'm absolutely baffled by this. And quite frankly, I'm a little bit disgusted. Anyway, let's have a look at the setup. So Scotland, Pierre Showman comes in at number 1 with only 1 cap on his test. George Turner and Xander Fagerson, the more experienced duo for the front rowers for the Scottish team. Xander Fagerson was actually called into the Lions team as well. He didn't get to play in the Lions test series, but really has the talent to be one of the top tight head props in the world. A really big guy as well. Big beefy boy on the field. James, and really good, actually can run the ball as well. So up against the front, basically the Wallabies front row, basically the Brumbies front row. James Slipper come in at number 1, and Flower Faenga number 2. Alan Alatoa back number 3 spot. This is the pretty good platform for the Brumbies. Alan Alatoa has a bit of work to do, so we shall see how this goes for the team. So Xander Fagerson and James Slipper, we shall see how they go, because Xander Fagerson is getting up there as a really good tight head prop. In the locking position, Sam Skinner comes in number 14. Grant Gilchrist comes at number 4 and number 5. These two guys, this is the lock combination they used in the Six Nations. Quite good, quite solid pair. Along with George Turner on number 2 spot. This is kind of like their set piece, backbone of the set piece from the lineouts for the Scottish team. So these guys, unlike the Wallabies, seemingly just randomly chucking people into the mix and have a 1 week preparation. I would not be surprised if the Scotland team steals some of the lineouts from the Wallabies, especially with Rory Arnold only joined the camp for like a week. Will Skelton only been in the camp for like a week as well. So you tell me 1 week practice against, years of working together as a team, including a very successful Six Nations campaign of earlier this year. You tell me which one's going to come up on top, okay? Because I think the Wallabies probably going to struggle in the line-out a little bit. And the Wallabies haven't had a great line-out in recent times either. So we shall see how that goes. Anyway, Rory Isaac Rodart, he actually returned to the Wallabies as well. And he's actually performed really well in recent times. He's currently eligible to play for the Wallaby legitimately. He's not actually a return return so-called player from who's based overseas, because he's actually currently signed to the Western Force. So he's legitimately eligible to play for the Wallabies. So, and he's performed pretty well for the Wallabies. Pretty solid player, and I don't have much to say. I'm just saying, yeah, good on you, mate. Getting back into the thick of things. And then loose forwards. This is probably... we shall see how this goes. I do think that Lockie Swinton should probably get a spot at number 6 here over Rob Leota. He had one game against Japan, which was an average game. So, yeah, I'm not sure why he gets another start at number 6 over Lockie Swinton. And by quite frankly, the Scottish loose forwards are quite aggressive and very, very, very in your face. So, and they were pretty good in Six Nations as well. So, Rob Leota might struggle a little bit in this game. Lockie Swinton bringing that physicality is something that probably needed in this spot. But anyway, Jamie Ritchie, the blindside flanker for the Scotland, really, really good player. Hamish Watson, the Lions tour player, just he's extremely aggressive, extremely good, a really, really fit player for the open side flanker position. Matt Fagerson comes in at number 8 spot. For the Scottish team. So the Wallabies, number 7, Michael Hooper comes in at open side flanker. The captain, Michael Hooper, is the best player in the Wallabies team and probably the best flanker in the world. Up against Hamish Watson, we'll see how Hamish keep up with him. So he's probably going to be okay. Rob Valentini coming in at number 8, also a pretty solid performer for the Wallabies overall. I just don't know why Rob Leota gets another shot over Lockie Swinton at number 6 position. We shall see if that's going to hurt the Wallabies during the game. And then the back line, this is, I think, where the Scottish back line probably better than the Wallabies. This is, yeah, I think this is, yeah, I think the Scottish back line is better than the Wallabies. So, Ali Price coming in at number 9, the veteran for the Scottish team. Finn Russell, many consider to be the best number 10 in Europe. And Finn Russell is, he was injured and selected for the Lions tour, and many people believe that if he hadn't been injured and he played for the entire Lions tour series, he would have won. In the third test series, he came onto the field for after, I think Bigger got hurt a little bit or something, so he came on and actually really played a really, really good attacking game for the Lions team, for the Lions team. But they did not win that game, but still, he was very impressive. A lot of flair in attack, really good, impeccable goal kicking as well, like 90%, 100% goal kicking. I think he was, it's just incredible player, Finn Russell, something that James O'Connor needs to catch up to be honest. Nick White, matching up against Ali Price. Nick White actually has developed quite a lot in recent times. Started really, really getting a lot better at number 9 position. Much more of a, I guess, like an all-rounded player overall as a number 9 spot. At number 10, James O'Connor comes back after a long injury. He hasn't been given much game time in favor of what's his name? Quade Cooper. So Cooper has been playing 10 because James O'Connor was injured. Despite the fact that when James O'Connor was clear for injury, he was given like 5 minutes last week playing against Japan. Quade didn't have the best game either, so I'm not sure why Dave Rooney didn't give O'Connor more time. They just been giving Quade like 70 minutes, 65 minutes. Like James O'Connor literally had, maybe 30 minutes of game time in the last 4 or 5 matches, like 3 or 4 matches that he has been available for. And on the wing, Dwan van der Merwe, the South African import, he is absolutely try-scoring machine. He is the premier winger selected for the Lions tour. So he's considered the best winger in the Lions team. So he's best winger in Europe. And he's up against Jordan Mateo, who is probably, I wouldn't call him the best winger. He's probably, okay at best. And this is going to be a little bit of mismatch, I think. Van der Merwe also extremely good under the high ball with the kicking strategy. So he's going to put a high ball. They're going to put a high ball in to Jordan Mateo or maybe even Tom Wright. And Van der Merwe is going to get there. And he's tall, he's fast, he's big. He's going to jump really high. And this is literally a strategy they used in the Lions tour where Van der Merwe just jumps and try to like jump over you literally to score that high ball, return high ball. So this is going to be really tough for Jordan Mateo because Jordan Mateo has not been known to be the best under the high ball either. So we shall see how this goes. This is quite a big mismatch here at a number 11 spot. I thought maybe Andrew Callaway should be okay, but we shall see. Yeah, we shall see. Like Tom Banks missing and Hodge missing. This is going to be maybe a little bit of an issue here for the Wallabies. Sam Johnson comes in at number 12 in the inside centre, and Chris Harris outside centre. These two worked quite well for the Six Nations as well. So they're up against Hunter Paisami, Leighton Nikitau. The combination for Wallabies. This is the combination the Wallabies use against the All Blacks. Not that great results against the All Blacks. Hunter Paisami fails to link up with Leighton Nikitau at times, and Hunter Paisami seems to have a little bit of ball security issues when he runs, so he gets stripped quite a bit. Seemingly, we shall see if he's improved a bit from his past. So yeah, that's my take. Number 14, Darcy Grahams for for Scotland, and Tom Wright comes in at 14, who had a really good game against Japan last week. And Tom Wright, not the first selection for the Wallabies, put into the position basically due to injuries. But Tom Wright, I thought, had a pretty good season in the Brumbies. I did think that he deserves a spot in the Wallabies, probably the starting on the bench. So it's good to see him finally getting that spot. And yeah, we shall see how he goes. Stuart Hogg, the Rabbit. I don't know, I wouldn't call him Rabbit, but yeah, Stuart Hogg, the Lions, did he play? I think he played 15th, the Lions fullback as well. So also one of the best players, in the Lions team. No, maybe Liam Williamson 15, but anyway, one of the better players, probably one of the best players in the Scottish team as well. Really, really starting to mature, getting into the groove of things. And this, again, the kicking game, extremely good under the high ball. I don't know. And he's up against Andrew Callaway at number 15. So I don't know how Wallabies going to handle the kicking game from the Scotland team. The back line, Van der Merwe, Stuart Hogg, big issues for the Wallabies to deal with. However, some good news. The bench, Wallabies may have a bit of advantage over here. Ewan Ashman comes in at number 16. Jamie Barty comes in at 17 for Scotland. And Ollie Kebble comes in number 18 for the front rows. And they're up against Connell McInerney. Again, McInerney had a good start last week against Japan, but the Wallabies line-out has always been an issue in the second half. And bringing in new locks with alongside new hooker, I don't know how that's going to work out. So again, the line-out could be a big issue for the Wallabies, despite the front rowers, Angus Bell and Daniel Tupou are the two best props in the Wallabies. And I don't see them struggle in the scrummaging. So this could be one area the Wallabies get a bit of a breather, get a couple of free penalties from the scrummaging. But in terms of lineouts, I don't know. I don't know how the lineout's going to handle. At number 19 position, Jamie Hodgson for Scotland, and Will Skelton comes in at number 19. Josh Bayliss comes in number 20 for Scotland. One debutant, and Jamie Hodgson has one cap for Scotland as well. So this could be a bit of weakness as well, bit of an experience issue. We'll see how this goes. And P. Samu has been a really strong finisher for the Wallabies. It's good to see him on the bench again, and he really deserves that spot on the bench. Not in a bad way, but he's just really, really good coming off the bench and really injects that huge amount of energy. Really changes the pace quite a lot for the Wallabies. Greg Horn, number 21 for Scotland. Tate McDermott comes in at 21 in the reserve number 9 position. Adam Hastings, number 22. Curly Beale comes back at number 22. The utility reserves for pretty much, I think he's going to come on for the fullback position. And then Kyle Stang scored 4 tries against Tonga last week. Another South African connection. And he's earned himself a spot, I guess, at the extremely stacked wingers position for the Scotland's team. And Isaiah Peresi has been injured in the last game of Super Rugby, so he's finally returned, finally getting his debut. I thought he was going to debut last week against Japan, but apparently not. So he's going to debut this game against Scotland. Maybe Dave Rennie is underestimating Scotland. I know he used to coach in Scotland in clubs, but maybe he's underestimating the players that he used to know, because this team is not the same Scottish team from 2019. They're much, much, much better. So debuting new players and putting fresh locking combos in, I don't know, man. I think Scotland might win this one, to be honest. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your predictions. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, hopefully I don't have to get too mad. Hopefully we don't lose and keep the streak alive. Like, comment, and subscribe. Yada, yada, yada. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Cheers.